Hello everybody, back here again with our vlog a day. And today is Saturday, the 12th, and today was an absolutely beautiful day, wonderful day to be alive. Got up this morning, not really too early. The dogs let me sleep in a little bit, which was kind of nice. Overall, it wasn't bad. They got up a little bit. They heard mom moving around, so of course that stirred them up and they got them moving. So got the dogs outside, got them, taken care of, got all that good fun stuff done. Decided I had a couple other things to do, got them all fed, yada yada, and was going to head up to Sam's Club, and then didn't because by the time I was going to get there and get back, I had a dog getting dropped off, and it was going to be before I got back, kind of thing. So I'm like, not a big deal. I'll go up there tomorrow, probably, whatever. That'll work out just fine, and go from there. So went ahead, said to hell with it. Got a couple things done. Went across the street, got a few things done across the house over there a little bit. Nothing real major, just kind of checking on stuff and whatnot. Started a load of laundry at the old house, washed some dog blankets, and one of the back room back there, I'd put an old blanket down, a real woolly type looking blanket that I would use to help knock the dirt off the dog's feet as they come in the house. So since there's no dogs over here now, I figured it's time to wash that all up again and stuff, get all cleaned up and so on and so forth. Got a couple things done there, headed back across the street, hang out with the dogs. Luna got dropped off, the little dog I watched. That's just, oh my god, she's so much energy. And I wasn't sure her and Ginger were going to go. And the lady dropped her off. I've been watching Luna for a long time now. She hadn't seen the new house, so she came in, checked out the new house real quick, and kind of gave her the quick rundown and kind of showed her some of the things we've done. She really liked the knock down on my ceiling, and said she's wanting to get rid of her popcorn and wanted to have that done. And I told her, I said, when you decide ready to, I got a guy who will do it. You can go through the company or through him privately. Go privately, you'll save a little bit of money. You don't have to worry about the hell thing, but you might go through the company because she also has another business. They might be able to, I don't know, I might be able to talk to the owner of the company, be like, hey, we'll trade out for some of my service for some of your service kind of thing, and work out a trade, because I'm all for that if at all possible. So I want to encourage everybody to do as much bartering in their life as they can. So, which actually, I think I'm going to look at getting at her service as well, and see if she wants to do a trade out that way too. Although she has a business partner, it may be a little hard to do. So I got to find out what her soft cost would be if she was to do that, kind of thing. I don't want to have any issue with her and her business partner, that could cause her ill effects in the future. So, because that's definitely not cool. I know many times where the partnerships, 50-50 ownerships, one of them is basically stealing from the company, doing barters and trades constantly. The other one never does. And unless you write them a check for the amount that you're at least what it costs you to operate, you're stealing. That's not good. Now the other one might say, hey, I don't care, trade out all you want, we don't give you out. As long as they both know, it's fine. But if they're not in on it, then it's not cool. So definitely don't want to be dealing with that stuff. But went ahead, got from there, got a couple things done. My mom and my wife ran to the store, got some grocery shopping done and whatnot, whatever, hung out with the dogs. And Luna and the little healer just, oh my god, they played so hard. It was 2.5 hours. They literally stopped running to take a drink of water and then ran and chased each other around again, to the point that after 2.5 hours they finally laid down, but they laid down like nose to nose and chewed on each other's snouts. Like, they literally had so damn much fun. It was almost disgusting how much fun they had. It was such a great time. So, but yeah, they were having all the fun in the world. And then got a couple of things done. Mom and the wife got back from the store, got the groceries put away and stuff, hung out for a while. Had a couple other things to go do. Nothing major. Ended up back across the street for a couple moments. Just little things here and there. Just trying to figure out what we're taking, what we're doing, whatnot. My wife, after she got back to the store, ran up to Port Orange, grabbed her father, and brought him back down so he could look at the house and kind of ask, what color do you want the walls painted? Are you good with these floors? Do you want new floors in here? What all do you want done? And the big thing we told him is the more you want done, the longer you're going to be living in assisted living, the longer before you get in here, because I'm doing this all myself. I can't find help. I can't find employees. I can't find workers that want to do work, so I'm stuck doing it all myself since I did my new house. So he basically gave a list of the things he wanted and whatnot, and basically that's how long I thought it took. And I was like, at least 90 days, maybe 120 days, who knows? It won't take that long. I'm not going to do that much, and I'm not going to be doing it to nearly as high a standards I did at my new house. So, because I don't know how long it's going to live there, and then I got to redo things differently to make it a rental anyway, or get it ready to sell if we're going to sell the place, which I doubt we will. So, not really my plan. But yeah, I went ahead, got that done. He came across the street to the new house at first, looked around there, got to see it all, and then we were a little bit, I'm concerned about his mental state where he's at, because he didn't even recognize my dog. Like, he didn't know my dog was my dog. I'm like, it's a giant 110-pound Great Dane. How do you not know what it is? And I said something about the Great Dane and stuff and about Bruce. And he goes, well, I know who Bruce is, but that ain't Bruce. And I'm like, that is too Bruce. Like, you just been petting Bruce. Like, what the hell? And he's like, oh, I didn't think that was him. And I'm like, how many other black Great Danes do you know? Like, I'm just, yeah, it made no sense. So, I hope he does well living on his own, but I don't see it happening. I really don't. I just really don't see it happening. But it is what it is. So we got him. She took him back home out for taking him home for her, and she said no, she'd take him back. And I said, that's cool, whatever. So ended up back on the yard, playing the dogs for a while. Went and got my run in, got my shower. We ended up having, my wife wanted for her, which is called a cheat meal, their celebration meal, whatever you want to call it. She wanted chicken Alfredo, so we had chicken Alfredo, a little bit of garlic bread, which I'm really not, I don't really care about the garlic bread. The garlic bread, we're getting like this frozen garlic cheese bread stuff, and it's not very good. So it's very ungarlicky and not cheesy, and it's like a waste of time. But had a little slice of it, had the chicken Alfredo. My wife was really happy with it, and then she also wanted a cherry cheesecake for her dessert. So normally I wouldn't have a slice of cherry cheesecake, but I thought I'll go ahead and have one also with her. So I had a slice of cherry cheesecake with her. And then from there, headed back outside to watch some more Hulu and smoke cigars. I spoke to a buddy of mine when I went to on my run. He asked me if I was busy. He wanted to talk, so we chatted a little bit, and then his phone dropped dead on him. His battery went dead, I guess, actually what happened. But he's wanting to buy a very expensive piece of equipment for his little side hustle business, and we talked about it a while back. He had a customer who was needing or wanting some stuff done that new equipment would be able for him to produce, and I'm leaving it kind of vague because I don't want to call it his business exactly. And I had stated the fact of like, hey, because he was going to have them purchase the equipment, and then he was going to cut all their stuff for free, basically minus cost of materials, so they were getting all his labor for free and all his knowledge, all his know-how to work the equipment and all that for nothing. And then they kind of got weird about it, and it was like they're not wanting to pull the trigger on a $10,000+ investment, on this whole thing. So, and especially they don't know him, and it makes sense. I'm not sure I'd be down for that either. If I was dealing with somebody who I've been dealing with a little bit, but not that much, and it's whatever. So at that point, I had offered him. I said, hey, what would it take if I was to buy this thing for you? This was months ago, we talked about and stuff, and kind of hanging out, well, we could do this. We kind of hinted around about how it would work and whatnot. I said, if you can get them to commit, prepay for half, like the order of half, because the order they wanted was going to be like 4 times or twice what the machine was going to cost. But I'm like, just get them to pay get a pre-order of enough to cover half of the machine. So I'm paying $5,000, they're paying $5,000, that we already have half it already pre-sold, and you're good to go. You got the money in your pocket, and I don't even give a shit if we wanted to set it up through an attorney that basically puts it into a trust account that says when you deliver these X amount of items at these specs and these standards, they release the funds. I just don't want them like, oh yeah, we'll buy it once we get it. I don't want to have him also then make $5,000 worth of stuff that they decide they don't want later either. So never came about. Really didn't hear much else about it, left it alone. And then while he was talking about it, he kind of mentioned other people that he does this kind of side work, that he's in the process of trying to get this equipment. And then it kind of got out, I guess, amongst a bunch of them who want him to start doing a bunch of their work too. And he said right now nobody's put a commitment because he don't have a machine. He don't want to take an order for a machine he don't have yet and whatnot. And he said, I think I got enough to cover half of it through other people, not even this idiot. So I said, well, if you get the original idiot to cover it, I'm definitely in for half. If I got to pay the whole thing up front, I'm not sure I want to do the full $10,000. $10,000 is a shitload of money, and that whole thing is it's a lot, and it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, I want $1,000 a month back from you. That's hard to justify as well. Also, because if he doesn't get the orders, I'm like, I said, if you were just buying a Rolex, if I gave you $10,000 to go buy a Rolex watch, no income, extra, nothing, what could you afford to pay me back on this? Assuming the machine never made $1, you never used it, never sold a thing from it, nothing. And he basically said he could afford $400 a month. I'm like, okay, it's not nearly what I'd like, but it's a possibility. We can work from there. So we've been talking about it. So after dinner, I called him back. We talked for quite a while on the phone, chatted about it and whatnot, of what would be like a fair interest rate kind of thing. I mean, he get hit by a bus tomorrow, and I'm out $10,000. Like, I mean, literally, it's a ridiculous amount of risk I'm taking here and stuff and whatnot. So we talked about it and I said, if you get the dude for half, I'm in for half. we can go from there. If I got to do the whole thing, let me think about it. Give me some actual numbers. Tell me what you think works. And we're chatting about it. So I think I'm gonna invest in a buddy's company. I'm going to basically loan him $10,000 to buy a piece of equipment. And part of the thing is, whatever work I want done with that equipment until it's paid off, I get done for cost of material. I don't pay for labor or nothing. That's my extra interest, my bonus of being the one that basically covered his nut and bought that to begin with, kind of thing. So, but yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna chat with my wife, make sure she knows, but she's big on whether I buy stocks or I buy, equipment for other people and stuff. It's kind of, I handle the finances when it comes to that investing type side. So it's really not a big concern. I know we spoke about it, a while back. I kind of mentioned it. I didn't really get into the exact numbers, but I mentioned about loaning the guy money to buy some equipment kind of thing and whatnot. So what I'll probably do is I'll tell myself that I've been putting about $1,500 a month into the stock market. So I will just not put $10,000, next, 7 payments I won't put into the stock market, in lieu of buying that for him. So the next 7 months I won't make a payment. I'll just put it back into my little savings, my liquid savings in the process. And then whatever else he pays me, I'll, put that back into it when it comes down. So hopefully it's one of those things where it does really, really well. He sells a ton of stuff. He's like, I can have it paid off in 2 months, 3 months, whatever. Because with some other equipment he bought similar to it that was about half this price, but it does a lot less stuff, he paid it off in less than 6 months. He was able to pay it back. So it's one of those things where if that's the same thing, that's when he can make more money with it. It's a lot faster. It's a lot more, assuming he can find clients that are willing to buy it, then he can pay it back. If he pays it back in 6 months, that's a stellar deal. Because at that point, I have no problem. I'll loan him more money. Like, we'll just keep buying more equipment and go into business where I just fund every single new piece of equipment. The other thing is I kind of want a piece of this equipment myself. So my thought is, let's say it takes him a year to pay this off back to me. And then by that point, he might realize that he needs a bigger piece of equipment. And then I can, fund the new big piece of equipment in lieu of down payment would be this old wore out year-old piece of equipment. And worst case scenario, if I end up with it, once he knows how to use it all, if he just doesn't pay it back at all and I go pick up the equipment, I will just basically repossess the equipment for him. But he'll already know how to work it. He'll be able to basically answer all my questions I'd have about it as I go. And I also thought about buying like 2, sending one to my house, one to his house, dropping the $20,000, and then basically as he learns, he can then teach me, as we go through. So any questions I have, he can literally walk out in his shop. He can, exactly, work it out and go from there. So yeah, we had a good long conversation. Known this dude since like high school. I met, like, we kind of, it's one of those guys I didn't talk to him for we won't talk for many years. And like, he found me and hit me up and like, I don't know exactly how the hell he found me, like through his stuff. Like, I found my old phone number or some crap, and he's like, "Hey, is this yeah?" Like, and we just talked like we talked yesterday. Like, we're not gonna hurt each other's feelings and stuff. I told him straight up, I'm like, dude, if you get hit by a bus, I'm gonna go pick that equipment up before your body's in the ground. Like, you're not gonna be. I mean, I'm not gonna wait for the body to get cold. If your body's still lukewarm as it's cooling down from the death, I'm gonna take that equipment. And he laughed because I understand completely. I said, however long it takes me to drive from Florida to Missouri, that's all it'll take me to go grab that equipment once I hear you're dead. So he kind of laughed and joked about it. But yeah, so I'll probably just, one of those things and stuff. I talk to other people and are like, get a contract written out. I'm like, I'm not going to sue the dude. I'm not going to sue the dude. I really won't. I mean, I might pay somebody to, break a knee on him or something. But, and I even told him that. I said, dude, I'm not a litigious dude, but I'm not saying I won't pay somebody to put a Miami shit handle in your car once a month for the next year. Like, I'm going to I'll pay somebody to make your life miserable, stand in front of your house with a blowhorn and call you a cunt, kind of thing. But I'm not big on going to court. I hate the courts and all that crap. So, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's pretty much got done that call. Finished up my cigar and then headed to bed. That's all I got for now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.